Hello, and welcome back to Twine Endurance AFK build for your trap tunnels. So we've done the home base. Now we can start with the Ridge Amplifier. So this is my Amplifier A, so hence why I'm doing it next. Doing them in order. So all the amplifiers in Twine have names because you have to place them all down. It just makes it a lot easier because everyone has different letters for them. Yeah, this one's called the Ridge Amplifier. So it's just to the west of the Storm Shield over here. Now this one's nice and easy. I say nice and easy. It's simple would be the better word, because we just have the one spawn round the back down here on that lower area. There are a few lava bombs, so if I go over here, there's one. As you can see, that's right in the middle here, which would be the most direct route for these guys to come up. So what we're going to have to do is block off this area. I believe there's another one down here somewhere, but I don't think it will trigger just after the other one has. And then obviously we have some spawn here, which will come up this ramp. We've already blocked off this area here when we did the home base build. So what we'll do is we'll bring these guys over to here. And then a bit unorthodox, but it's just so much easier. We can't build on here because the lava bomb will destroy it. And it's super awkward to build trap tunnels on that sort of ridged area. Oh, there's the amplifier name coming from. So what we'll do is once we get them up here, we're just going to basically bring them up here type thing. And then once we've got them up here, we can, send them towards the amplifier. So obviously, there it is again. Perfect timing for me to show it off again. We need to deal with this first. So what we can do is what we've done in the past is sort of block off this area with floors, and then if we build these, we did this with the home base, but to control where it goes, basically we can build like such, and then walls. This will also act obviously as a blocker for the enemies. So what we're doing is just effectively doubling up the floor and walls as blockages, and the way we do this on the floor should move the lava bomb. I can hopefully show when it triggers again. But we're going to do what we've done in the past as well, where we get our... can I show it? There you go. See how it's moved a bit further back before it was over there? So if you're having issues with this, you can load out of the game and back in, and that should sort your issues out. This game can be a bit buggy and messy with that sort of thing, so do bear with it. But this should sort that. Obviously, as I said, it's going to stop enemies from wanting to flank as well. Just a classic block off. You might want to add an extra one here. That's going to be in the wrong direction though. Let's just switch that to there. So now we've got all this blocked. You can go ahead and do another layer behind this. So if I do this, now that we can... one more over, sorry. Now that we can actually... probably don't need that one. Save the structures. Now that we can build in terrain, back when I did my original... where's that landed? Over here. Okay. just heard it coming in. But yeah, back when I did my original trap tunnel videos, we couldn't actually build in terrain, so it's a little bit easier to manage things now. But then over here, if we just build a floor over this thing, like so, then it will obviously stop the enemies at the very top end. If they were able to, say, make it past this wall, they'd have to break through the floor. So it's just another layer, another level that they'd have to break through if they, did want to make it through. So I'll just continue with the flanking here because, we're here. Let's just do it. So if we add one there, probably want a wall there as well, just to block them from squeezing through. And then a final one here where we're going to make the top. If I can actually make things, we're going to make the top a flat cone, and I think that should be enough. They can't really go anywhere else. So those flanking covered. As I said, we've got this bit covered flanking wise here, and we've blocked that off. We've pretty much done all the blockages that we can and that we need for the time being. There's just one up here we'd want to block. So you can either go from the bottom, as we've done before, like this, with the floors and then the ceilings. But because the spawn is down here, I think these walls may just get destroyed by the spawns. So I'm going to just do those, and then we'll put walls at the top. But what we can do here is we can put traps on these to zap anything that does want to come over. I mean, you can still put the walls down and, you know, see if they stay. You put it around the bottom and put the wall spikes on. It's not that many resources, is it, to place those down? Now, if you are placing the bottom ones, though, by the way, get rid of these top ones because you won't need those as well. Another lava bomb there, just to... That was the other one. I knew there was another one, but I don't think you can trigger them at the same time. So test it? Yeah, can't trigger that one. Sort of a joint spawn timer on that. So as I said, this is the path we're going to be leading them down, and then we'll stop just before... whoops, no, that doesn't need to be a floor. What we're going to build here is similar to what we've built for... I think it did wall there either. So where we're... You know, we can put wall traps on these all the way around. As they come through this area, you know, they can be affected by the wall traps and affected by shorter wall traps with the, you know, dynamos as well. So it makes it super efficient. And then the ceiling traps as well. We can use ceiling electric fields. And then if we do low walls here, as I say, we can put wall dynamos on these all the way through. And then you want to add your blockages like so, just to stop stuff. You could probably put one here. You probably won't need it though, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to put traps here just for any smashes that do make it to this point. We don't want them to charge back into our trap tunnels. In the odd circumstance that they do that, we can put traps on these to stop it. You can put an extra layer up here for blocking if you want. I really don't think you'll need it, so you should be fine with that. Over here we'll want another low wall, because we don't want the enemies dropping into our trap tunnels. Obviously we don't want that. This can be a full wall. Oh, I didn't mean to make a window. Don't want that. You shouldn't need a wall there with that. And then we can continue the ceiling going around. So over here, as I said, we're going to have to bring them up to the path here with stairs. So you could either do it... Whoops. You could either place them there and, you know, just sort of continue this ramp up, but we'll get less area for traps if we do that. So we're going to build it here, like so. We can't do it here because there is a lava bomb in this area. So there's very limited to what we can actually build here. So we're just going to build, you know, what we can and then continue up here, like so. If we do this, we can once again utilize these short walls and utilize extra traps on that. Then for here, we can get here, but any further down, as I say, will get destroyed. So this is all we can build for this area. If you do have issues with this, like, we can place a floor trap on this, but sometimes, you know, if this ramp goes, they can't get up that way now, and they're going to have to break through this. Not bake, they're not bakers, they're not on Great Kickoff. So what you can do if you're having that issue is just go for either, you know, a single ramp at the right or the left. Either way should be fine. I am a bit paranoid, to be honest, so what I'm actually going to do is do that. And you could probably put a floor trap of damage, you know, floor spikes, something like that, and it should affect them as they come up the stairs. This trap at the back will definitely affect them as they walk up. A good reason to use the right-hand side of the path. But that just stops any you know, classic Save the World awkwardness from going on there. Now, at this point, you could do another open bit here where we, you know, have extra traps, but I'm actually going to close it off because this 3 long area here makes a perfect area for broadside traps. So I'm going to close that off. Now, over here, it's up to you how you want to do this. If you want to save resources and save traps, you can block off one side. You probably want to block off the right side because the husks will levitate to the right side to come up here, because obviously the amplifier is on that side. But I think I'm going to go for just traps throughout pretty much the whole thing. So if I do this, as I say, you can alter it to your taste. I'm actually going to do... no, we'll leave that one as a full wall. Here we can do that for a dynamo, and then a full wall, and then here we'll do dynamos, floors. You can put ramps up here as well and put floor traps on them. It's a bit overkill. You know, we didn't do it with the main home base. I'm going to leave it for now because I really don't think you'll need it. Over here, let's see what we want to do here. We can do full walls. Full walls at the top. We can do a dynamo in the middle. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Dynamo in the middle. And then at the back, if we put full walls, and then here, full walls, we can get some wall darts on those. Ceilings on both. Now, most enemies are going to come up this side, but any enemies down here that do spawn in this area are going to levitate towards the left-hand side. The reason I'm building on both and not just blocking off is because it will save some of the durability on the right traps, because obviously some are going to come up here. But it's completely fine to just block off the right side and save yourself traps and such. That would perfectly work. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Now for here, what I'm going to do is utilize our classic method of extra traps. Up here, you can do the same sort of thing, but you're probably going to want to block these properly in this sort of area. What I mean by that is properly stop them from wanting to get out like this, just to fully enforce to them that we want them to stay in our trap tunnels. You don't need to go too over the top with these. Like you probably don't need the full walls at the back. You know, just the cones would probably serve as enough. And as I say, you know, you can get rid of this right lane, and then you'll need less at the top here. But the way we're building it for now is we want, you know, to make sure they get as much damage as possible as they come up. Now, you notice we've got this large area around here. What we can do is, well, actually, no, we leave the walls, sorry. But what we can do is place the low walls like this. Get rid of the floor, because we won't be able to do any damage with the floor trap. But now we have this massive area that's going to have so much damage dealt that the only thing that's going to make it through is smashers at this point. And even those might not make it to the end. It depends on the wave, obviously. Because, you know, the higher the wave, the higher the enemy. Now that we've got those placed down, we can start with a smasher shield. So obviously we have that lava bomb down there. So if we built ceilings over this at 2 blocks above it, it could get destroyed. The ceiling, that is, by the lava bomb. I need to edit this just so it's like this. So what we can do is over here. Just realised I missed the walls off the front of that. Sorry about that. I thought it was looking a bit strange. Yeah, we want those front walls just over that, and you can also put these in as well. Carrying our grid method. I don't know how I missed that. Sorry about that. Must have got sidetracked with something. But now we've got it placed down, we can get this going, and I don't think you'll need another one to the left, but now that we've got to this height, we can put down ceilings that we can put our traps on. So obviously, I've just shown the lava bomb fell, didn't destroy this, because it's 3 blocks up, it can't be destroyed by that. Now, once we get to this point, we are, well, the floor's gone down 1, so at that point, it's, you know, on the ramp, it's alright height, but for this bit, we're going to need to lower this down. So if I just sort of get that there, then what we can do is carry on these, and what we're going to do is just over this entire thing. It's up to you whether you want to go to this bit or not. I'm gonna do it just to cover basically down there where they might be trying to break through. These ceiling traps will obviously damage them as they do that. Another lava bomb because it's Twine. It wouldn't be Twine without lava bombs everywhere. Now it's up to you how far back you want to go with this. It's not overly necessary, but we are obviously building an AFK build here. So when we build an AFK build, we want to just guarantee that it gets through any anomalies that come with war games, that type of thing. So by covering the entire spawn with this and damage traps, we can obviously more guarantee that we will not need to step in unless we get something like miss pods, UFO, that type of thing. but that's not something that you can just never build for, because that's just not how it works. Now there is this little gap here, so you can fill this in if you're paranoid. I don't think Flingers will be able to get through it with their stuff. As I say, it's up to you how you want to go about that. I don't think you'll need to build it. But, you know, if you do start seeing stuff go through, I mean, if you look where the amplifier is, they're not going to be able to aim for it. So I think it should be fine. Maybe just cover that one, if anything. And you can probably get rid of that side one because they're not going to be able to go through that. And these bits here were just to connect this bit, which obviously connects to this side. So if you want to get rid of some of these or all of it, that would be fine. I'm just going to keep it because I like the way it looks more than anything. So at this point, we've covered flanking over here. We've got the ceiling traps. We've got all that stuff. It's all looking nice. Oh, these got destroyed by the lava bomb. I see. We did actually build for it. All right, so we've got the lava bomb behaving again. So what I've done is I've just made these flat, you know, instead of angled. And the floor, I previously had it like that towards the back. I just made it towards the front. Just got that mixed up the wrong way around. That should be working now. I didn't have to load out and back in either. It did shift once I got the lava bomb to spawn again. Right, so now that that's behaving and all that stuff, we built all the, you know, stuff to block them from making their way around and flanking and so on. So what we can do now is build, well, yeah, the bait and switch that we did up there for the storm shield, the main storm shield. So we're pretty much just going to replicate this build, but on top of this instead. Now up here, we used this raised bit to, you know, start where they go up. So what we're going to do is just do the same. So you could do it from there if you wanted, and then ramp up and across. But I feel like that's a bit too close to the trap tunnels. So what I'm going to do is start it from here, and this way we don't have to use stairs either. We can just go straight over. Just making sure I get the right place. So I think you could probably do it like that. Give yourself a bit more room to work with as we go across here. It doesn't really matter too much, you know, which way you do it. The main bit is here having the space to knock them off. But if we do it this way, we just get a bit more space, that's all. Now, if we just replicate the design we had on the other one, tiptoeing my way across this to make sure I don't fall off and have to come back up again. And that one there, and then a floor. So, I mean, I probably don't need to explain at this point. If you're watching my videos, you know you've seen them. But what this does is, if we also get our archways going around this, what this does is this structure basically acts as something that the smashers will see and think it is something, you know, that's actually protecting the amplifier and stopping husks from being able to attack it. So what that then means is smashers will want to come and attack this, which means they will have to go up across this and, you know, go across this bridge we've made to get to it. And then once they go up there, we can edit the floors like so and put stun traps on these, which will push them off into their fiery doom. Or if they land down there, you know, they'll just come back up and keep looping till the end of time. Something we want to do though probably is just give it an extra bit of structure. So here we had an extra wall there. I was just looking, but we can't add. Whoa! Genuinely scared me. I thought I'd died. Yeah, so we can't build the structure there. You know, there's a few ways you can go about it. You could do one here. You don't build it underneath the amplifier, whatever you do, because the smashers will just break it. But you could just do this, you know, just connect it there. That'll work. Or you could maybe put a wall there into the actual ramp. You know, that's going to keep it connected, and then maybe go out one as well. There's a few ways you can do it, but I'm just going to connect it with another floor, and pray to God that they don't try and attack that, but they shouldn't do. Another thing we can do with this amplifier, which is pretty neat, because it is a pretty painful amplifier to build for, is if we go under here, you'll know we're like almost under the amplifier here. If we build some walls around here, you don't need too many. I'm just going to build a square of them. So if I try to remember where that is exactly. So that's underneath this bit here, which is obviously directly next to it. In fact, I think I saw the edit thing come up. But that will act as also structures that, you know, smashers, mini bosses and stuff will aim for. Now they can't get down there to, oh my god, it like flickers if I go to a certain angle. Smashers and stuff can't actually attack those, so they will, you know, mess around and stuff as well, which will save our traps on our loop and such. But yeah, that'll do it for the actual build. I'll go ahead and show the traps that I'm using with the perks and so on, and then I will level this up, come back and place the traps down, so I'll see you shortly. Alright, so now that you've got that looking all beautiful and crisp, leveled up, we can go ahead and put traps down. So up here we're going to put some stun traps in the form of our light traps. So if you want to save, you can do 2 here and sort of edit this one back like so. I've gone for 3 just to guarantee that rhymes, which means it works. That's how that works. Over here, for this one, we don't need to put any on. For this one, we don't need to put any on. Oh, whoops. You could probably put some floors here. That's not floors. You could probably put some walls there as well, just to stop them from coming in the side. But for these, this is where you want to actually put traps to stop them breaking through. You probably don't need it on these side ones. It's going to mainly be these front ones, but I'm just going to put them on all of them anyway. Then leading back to the entrance to the trap tunnel by the amplifier, what we can do here is we're going to get tar pit traps for the very last bits. So probably up to here, maybe here as well. Then once we get to this point, we can start using freeze. I'm just going to face the way the husks will be at these points to make the sort of impact from the freeze move them back a little bit. You could probably get some floor spikes to get a bit of damage as well on some of these. As I said, if you make this a full floor, you can put spikes on that, but just to stop it from bugging out and just reduce any chances of that, we're not going to do that. On these floors, though, oh, that's a wall I missed. Love this stuff. Oh, and I didn't upgrade these either. But while we're here on these, we can put our wall spikes on them to stop anything from trying to break out. We will also have the traps up there, but I'll put them down at a separate time. I'm just going to carry on placing stuff where I am because it's just easier. Broadsides on these, and then dynamos. Not on both sides because they're not going to come up the other side. But yeah, I did end up changing this. I just realised I didn't mention. I've blocked off the side. It's just easier because then up here, if you look, we've got far less to have to use up here as well. It just saves resources. I decided to change it. So yeah. Up here, you can get some stun on these, or you can use broadside. You could probably go for one at either side. If it doesn't let you place stuff, you might just have to place it again. And it should let you put it on, and then you can just upgrade it afterwards. It's a bit annoying, but at least we can place walls there, where we couldn't before. I didn't even check to see if I could put them on there, I just broke them. That was potentially stupid, because I'm going to have to come back and level it up. But at least we can place traps. So yeah, I'm putting one stun on the side, and then damage on the other side. As we come up, we want wall darts at the back, which, let me get those equipped. Same there. On the sides, though, we want broadsides, because that is, you know, pinging back and forward here is going to do so much damage. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. So broadsides here. For this one, it's a bit too far for broadsides, so I'm going to put wall darts. Then on this one, we can put a wall launcher. So let's put one of those. That'll push them back down. Meaning that, you know, they go through all the damage again, basically. I think this is the only one we have the ability to place on at the moment. So I think I do have some 144, actually. I must have used them all up. Make sure we face this way as we place it. Then once we're up here, there's no real need for tire drop. On this one, though, we will place one there. At the back here, we'll place darts. As we come up, we could do damage on the side. We could stun. There's a few different things we could do. I don't think this wall's going to be too much use, so I'm just going to put a stun. In fact, actually, I'll put it on that one. But yeah, there's no real point putting damage there. It's not going to do enough, I don't think. But on the sides at the top, we can do broadsides, which will then bounce and trickle down. At the back, we can get wall darts, if I can place them. Once we're up here, we can get broadsides on all the walls that are looking opposite each other. For the most part, these ones are probably best just doing wall darts. And these ones as well. The reason for these two is, you know, these low walls are going to stop the cannonballs from picking around as much. So there's no point doing broadsides on those, really. Same for that one, and yeah, that one, sadly. I love my broadsides, but yeah, it's not going to be as effective up here, so we're just going to do wall darts on all of these. I am just hopping around these trap tunnels like nobody's business, aren't I? You could do some stun on these if you wanted to, but I think damage is the best way to go. Then for all these low walls where they are, you know, actually going to affect enemies as they come through, we want to get these dynamos, get absolutely huge damage going in this bad boy. You know we like it. You know we like it. Then for the ceiling traps at the sides, we're going to go for the zap ceiling electric fields. These will obviously damage enemies as they come through the tunnels, which is what we want. Not on that one, but in this whole center area, I'm going to put zaps because they will affect, you know, such a huge area. But this one, I'm just going to go for gas because it's not going to zap too far over. There's no real point. Once we get to here, then we're just going to concentrate gas down the middle to kill any of those smashers that do make it to that point. I think that should cover the traps for this area. Let's just run through and double check. Everything's sorted down here. I think all that we have left to do is the ceiling, which, as I've done in the previous videos, if you've been watching, you know, my trap tunnel videos, which you should be. Come on, if you're not, like, what are you doing? We could probably put some damage on that if you wanted as well. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll just place all of these ceiling drop traps, but I'll speed it up because you don't need to watch it super slow. But just make sure you're looking towards the storm shield, if I can even say it right, as I am in this. And just make sure the ceilings are above something where the enemies could stand. Right, now that you got that down, that's your build done. That's Amplifier A for me, but you know, the official name is Ridge Amplifier. That is the build done. Quite a lot of structure. As I said, if you want to strip back a little bit, if you run out of structures, or, you know, your traps are really good damage. I mean, mine are, but I've still gone over the top. You know, you could strip back that last layer of tar pit. You could probably go 2 layers. This bit here is a bit over the top, but we are, again, trying to make an AFK endurance build. So if you are here just for storm shields, you know, you can build far less than we've built here. But, you know, for endurance, we're probably going to want it, especially if you have the structures to spare. But there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Obviously, check out the playlist for all of the other amplifiers and the storm shield defense, all that good stuff. Make sure you stick around. Give a like if you did find it useful and you use this, because it's going to push it out to more people, and then more people can, you know, find it useful. But thank you so much for watching, as I said, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.